Welcome back to freehighschooleducation.com. Today we are doing chapter 1.6 in Algebra 1, the distributive property. Sometimes we have algebraic expressions that are similar to this. In this case, we see that these two terms have a common factor, which is 7. So I can pull out 7 and rewrite this expression as such. Again, my terms are separated by a plus or a minus. Here, I can expand this back to the original expression, and I will be distributing 7 over whatever is inside the parentheses. So in this case, I will be multiplying 7 times 3, and I will add it to 7 times 2. Here we have a multiplication sign which is not there. But whenever we have a number before the parentheses, that means that this number is multiplied by whatever is inside the parentheses. We may have more than 2 numbers. Then we also multiply this by this. Again, this is the distributive property over addition. I am adding these numbers and I'm distributing this number over these 3 numbers inside the parentheses. Now, if we check, for example, to see if we are going to have the same answer, 7 times 3 is 21, plus 7 times 2 is 14, and that expression is equal to 35. If we do it this way, this is the same as 7, and that gives us 35. So these two expressions, this one and this one, give the same answer. And I should be able to go from one expression to the other at any time. Sometimes I need to factor out the common factor in the terms and rewrite my expression this way. Sometimes I need to expand my expression back to its original format. So we should be able to do this because this is very important, and we are going to be doing this a lot in algebra. So this is a very important chapter to understand and to do all the exercises in it. So now we will do a few exercises. Rewrite by using the distributive property. This is classroom exercises, page 24. Number 1, 8 into 4 plus 5. If I rewrite it, which means expand this, remove the parentheses, then that will be 8 times 4 plus 8 times 5. Number 2, we have a negative sign inside the parentheses, and our number is put at the end. That is the same as putting the number at the beginning. And the negative sign is the same as the positive sign. So the distributive property works for both positive and negative. 9 times 6 minus 9 times 2. Whenever you are doing this expansion, start always with the number that's outside, so you do not forget what that number. And when you need to examine your work, you will see that your number, which is here outside, and you are using this to multiply all these numbers with, that your number always is at the beginning. This way you can catch your mistake very easily. We will see in later chapters that addition and subtraction are practically the same thing. So that's why when we have a minus sign, it's similar to having a plus sign. Number 3, 5 times 6 minus 5 times 3. Here we have a common factor between these two terms, and again, I have a minus separating these terms. So I pull out the common factor, and I'm left with a 6 and a 3. These will go inside the parentheses. 6 minus 3. I pull out the 5, and the minus stays with the 3. In number 5, we are going to rewrite by using the distributive property, and in this case, again, practically the same exercises as the ones before. So let's try some of these. 10 times 3 minus 6 times 3. The only difference here is that my common factor is put as a second number instead of as a first number. So that does not make any difference. All we have to do is pull out the common factor and open the parentheses, and for each number, whatever is left, we put it in minus 6. Number 6. Seven times 4 plus 13 times 4. Again, 4 is a common factor. We pull it out, open parentheses, we are left with 7 and plus 13. Now you can see that this is becomes a very easy exercise. 7 and 13 is 20 times 4, that's 80. So sometimes this format is more helpful than this format, especially if we are doing mental math. We'll do a few more exercises with variables. And we are going to do exercise 26. 3 into 2a plus 4b plus 6. Now we are distributing 3 over all these numbers, and there are 3 of them. And each one of these is a term by itself. So 3 times 2a, I multiply the 3 with the coefficient of a only. So 3 times 2, that's 6, and the a is put here, plus 3 times 4b, that's 12b, plus 18. And this expression and this expression are exactly the same. I can go back by factoring 3 out. 3 into 2a, divide this by 3, divide this by 3, divide this by 3, plus 4b, plus 6. And we're back where we have started. Again, number 28. Two into 3a plus 6x minus 1.3d. Again, this number 2 is distributed over these 3 numbers, and again, we said there is a multiplication sign here, which is omitted. We do not write it. 2 times 3a, 6a, plus 2 times 6x, 12x, minus, since we have a minus here, 2 times 1.3, and that's 2.6, d. If we want to go back, then we have to factor these numbers and see if there is a common factor between them that we can pull out. So let's do this. 2 times 3a plus 2 times 6 x minus 2 times 1.3 d. You can see here that there is a common factor, which we already know, which is 2, 2, and 2. So I can pull this out, and whatever remains of the number stays inside. So basically I will be dividing all these numbers by 2. So 6a divided by 2 gives me 3a. 12x divided by 2 gives 6x. Minus 2.6d divided by 2 gives minus 1.3d. And we're back to our original algebraic expression. With this, we come to the end of this class, and we hope to see you again.